Hi again, my name's Steve Richards. Today I want to talk about self-harm, depression, self-harm and some of these areas, just to give you insight onto some of what we're dealing with from a whole new perspective. So, I've got a woman in, and this woman here has self-mutilated, stabbed up and down both arms, constantly, and has no control. Somebody takes over. So I'm going to find out what we're dealing with, and we go back, and the spirit takes it instantly back into a past life. Thank you. And what's happening? I'm in India. Thank you. And what's happening? I've just given birth to a little girl. Thank you. And what's happening? My husband's annoyed. Thank you. And what's happening? Little girls are useless. I shouldn't have given birth to a girl. I should have had a boy. Thank you. And what's happening? My husband's so annoyed. He's bound me hand and foot, and he's stabbing me to death. Thank you. And what's happening? I knew I did the wrong thing by giving birth to a girl, not a boy. But I knew I was going to kill her too, and I couldn't forgive myself for not saving my daughter. Today, she's still punishing herself for not saving the daughter. And as she bled to death, when the pain, the blood flowed, the pain went. When she see the blood, the pain in present day would go. Stuck in time. We unfolded time and space, the dimension. We changed the dimension, loop time, put it outside time, we changed it. The moment we did that, the self-mutilation ceased to be. The young Aboriginal lad, he gets out of jail. He gets out of jail and hits the drugs. We've got to find out why he hits the drugs. He goes back to 15 years old. His 80-year-old grandmother, whom he idolises, she's reverted back in time to 8 years old. And she's really been whipped constantly for speaking a native language. English was the only language allowed to be spoken. So therefore he can't assist her in any way. He feels so useless. So this triggers off a sleeper and he hits the drugs. I sent him into his sleeper to find out what took place. I feel useless and can't assist her was the key to the sleeper. I went back in time. He's hunting, fishing on the beach with his family. White people arrive in boats and start shooting them like rabbits. By the time he came out of hiding, his family had been totally shot and killed, and he was the only one left. He felt totally useless as he couldn't help his family. His grandmother reverted back to age 8, made him feel useless as he couldn't help. Therefore he hit the drugs to mask the feelings of the past. Till we unfolded time and space and dimension, we cleared the dimension. You see him stuck in time, back in the past. I don't know how many of you are aware of it, but you used to be able to go get what's known as Aboriginal hunting licence. And you go for a quota for the weekend. Many are stuck in the trauma of what took place back in time. Many are stuck in the trauma which has flowed through the generations of time. Let's go back and have a look at his 80-year-old grandmother. Why do old people revert back in time before they die? Universal laws. The universe says deal with your stuff now so you don't have to move on. For if you don't deal with your stuff now, you're going to have to come back and relive it again. So before old people die, the issues and events they've never dealt with will surface. We need people trained in every old person's home to assist the elders to move on. For these are part of the laws of law. You see, being responsible for your thought, your word, your deed and your action, and you can't escape the cycles of time. But the universe will try to remind you, deal with these issues so you can move on. Otherwise you become stuck in time within the future again. I had a practitioner who came in one day and he's got a client who's been seen for well over a year. He's in a self-punishment. He's not getting anywhere with him, so he asked if I'd give him a hand. So I went round there and straight away the young lad went straight back to a past life as an Aborigine. He's been herded into a cattle station. No food, not much water. He asked if he can go hunting. The manager of the property says, "You got 2 days." So I went off hunting. He came back 4 days later. As you know, time is relevant to Aborigines. Got back 4 days later, only to find his whole family had been terminated 2 days ago because he didn't turn back in 2 days. When he got back, he was so ropeable he wanted revenge, so they had to isolate him from the rest of the community. Otherwise they too would have been punished. As we're going through to deal with this, all of a sudden, what took place, and the young lad, as we go back to find out what took place, He breaks down crying his eyes out. It's my fault, I should have been back on time. 100 years later he still punished himself for not being there on time. Sometimes people become stuck in these issues of the past and they can't move on into the future until those issues are unfolded through time and space and those issues are cleared. Today we have thousands of people stuck in time, countries throughout the world. We have thousands of soldiers stuck in time throughout the world of trauma of the past. We have people out there today that'll go to a doctor and ask to have their limbs cut off because they feel they shouldn't use them. Sometimes these people lay on the train track and let the train run over their limbs because they feel the limb, there's so much pain they won't get rid of them. Well, I've worked with some of these people back in the past in a war and the cannon's blown the leg off. And before death, the agonising pain, they just wanted their leg removed. Last moment of death, still stuck in the trauma. They come back into this life and that trauma's still online. Once that trauma's cleared, they don't need to have their leg amputated. It's a trauma they're stuck in through time. We need to understand these dimensions. We need to understand time. We understand that we are multidimensional beings in a multidimensional world. For only by understanding these dimensions can we make changes to the future.